Hello, in this part of the video we're going to cover the fitting of a reversing camera. We're going to fit it here in the original Mercedes place. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by removing 2 torque screws from here and here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the 4 screws from across here. Got to be very conscious that we've got a light here. On this light, bottom, there's a little clip here. We're going to push that little clip in with our fingernails and that will unplug the light. I'm going to come around here and we're going to use the same procedure to remove the rest of these. Okay, so this on this side releases. Now I'm actually going to take this plastic trim off totally. I'm going to remove the hazards off there as well, and I'm just going to go around and remove all of these clips. I'm going to remove this clip here. We're going to do this by just lifting up these little plastic tabs as we work around it. Now I've got my cable under here, so I'm just going to hook it round boot trims and I'm just going to cable tie it to this. Okay, in here we can see these little orange clips. There's 4 of them. They hold the remainder of the trim on, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give each of them a little squeeze and release them. So we've got to take out this bolts for the door handle, so I'm going to start by squeezing that, unplugging that, and then I'm going to remove these 2 torque screws. So having removed those 2 screws, the whole trim is on the move now, so it's just a case of fertling it off. On the back, the little clip there, that's it. That was it there. And there we go, there is the trim off. As you can see, there is no way that this camera is going to fit in here straight away. So I'm going to do a bit more trimming on here to get it into there with the intention to glue it in place. Okay, so I've trimmed this now and it fits really really tightly into there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this in place in this trim. Okay, so I fitted the camera with copious quantities of hot melt glue. So I've got the original piece of cover that was on here, cut the back off it and everything, and I'm going to put it back in place. I'm just going to feed the wire underneath it and then clip it in. Okay, so we've just put that back in place. I'm going to go put the screws back in here. I'm going to refit my reg plate and then put the screws and everything on inside, and I'll show you the wiring. Right, so we put the screws back in here. That's back in. I've started to cable tie the wiring, so I'm going to cable tie all of the camera wiring across here and then join it to the supply cable. Now on these Chinese cameras, the power's on a plug here, which is a 2-pin. You only need to connect the live up. Okay, so with all that squared away, the last thing I'm going to do is make sure that it works okay. We're just going to put the car into reverse, and there we go. There's our rear camera. So now we know that that works, we're going to refit the trim. So the clips that we saved, just push back in place. This just push back in place, and then we just put the warnings triangle back where it came from, lock that back in. The next thing we're going to do is put this trim across here back on. So this here just pushes back into there. So the final thing we're going to do is put these 3 back in here. And then that's the boot back together, and as you can see, the wiring is pretty much, other than there, out of sight.